I suspect it's probably lunchtime, so we'll head back to shore. We'll warm up, dry off, and eat some lunch. What a weird little spot. Oh, there's Gallows Rock over there. We won't go too close. Okay, yeah, it's lunchtime, alright. Okay, so let's have some ale, a grilled leek, a Horker loaf, and an apple. And then while we're here, we'll level up. And I think that we'll go with... Magicka again, because we're getting into, we've got some pretty advanced destruction spells now. I would like to keep upping the Magicka, I think. And we have one perk to use. So what if we haven't unlocked any alchemy? We have to get to 60 for that. Illusion, conjuration. Oh, Daedric Wrath. Unless there's something incredibly awesome, I imagine that's what we'll be going with. Rash Studies will be, the next level will be available in one level up for destruction, so that'll be coming soon. Elemental Ram will be coming up in one level. Oof. We got a couple good ones coming up. No. Maybe? I don't think there's anything new here, but maybe. Got all three of those. That one and that one. What are these up here? Staves. And lasting longer, which we don't really need, I don't think. We're not going to use any enchanting. Okay. Yes, I think conjuration it is then. This is going to be awesome. So right now, Conjured Atronachs are at 60% of Anag's level. Frost Atronachs gain 1 rank of magic resistance. Flame Atronachs gain augmented flames rank 1. Storm Atronachs, which we don't have, gain augmented rank shock rank 1. Here at Daedric Wrath, Conjured Atronachs are 70% of our level, so 10% better. And each Atronach becomes 20% more resistant to its opposing elements, which is handy. And then we have to get to 90 for this. So that may not even happen in the LP, the way that the LP is going right now. Conjured Atronachs at 80% of your level. Dremora, 110% of your level, which we don't use. And then Flame and Storm Atronachs gain rank 2 of augmented. Frost Atronachs gain 200 points of armor. Holy Nikes. 90%. Frost gets 25% chance to reflect 50% of any incoming melee damage. Wow. Flame and Storm gain augmented rank 3. And then way up at 150, Conjured Atronachs are at the same level, which by then I imagine you'd be at like level 60 or something like that. Conjured Dremora 120%. Frost and Storm absorb 50% of all incoming spells. Fire gains Intense Flames rank 1. What is Intense Flames? I forget. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Man, this LP is going to end before Night gets to the flippin' awesome perks up in the top of the Conjuration and Destruction trees, which are the two forms of magic she's used the most. You know, actually, she's leveled up in Alteration more than she is in Conjuration, which is kind of weird to think, because it doesn't seem like she uses Alteration more, but I guess she does. Anyway, we still have a perk to choose. Right. Okay, sorry. Right. Here we go. More awesome Atronachs, whatever. So let's check now. Oop, Erinder's leveling up. We are still a bit wet, so we'll warm up. We'll dry off here just by the fire for another few minutes before we call the horses. Right, so I can finish that thought. So, yeah, if you think about it, if you were to reverse the order of artists' albums, you could change an artist who went from a really great debut and then never equaled it again to an artist who made a pretty mediocre debut, but showed some promise, and then fulfilled it later on. Now you might think, well, what the hell does that matter? But I think it does kind of matter in the sense that it's only the circumstance of how these things were put out that we think of one as just flippin' awesome and the rest as shitty, or the rest as not as good. If it had been another way, imagine that Oblivion had been released first, say, before Morrowind. Think of the things about Oblivion that you would look back on fondly versus Morrowind, and the things about Morrowind that you would compare to Oblivion and say, oh, it's not as good. Now, I know that's not fair because there are developments in technology that make the game development different. Developments in AI, developments in graphics, that kind of thing. But still, I think that there are probably plenty of things that you could list about Oblivion that are superior to Morrowind that I think fans recognize. They recognize this, but they kind of write it off as, yeah, it's better, but the game as a whole isn't better than Morrowind. But I think if you change the order, you might feel a little bit differently about it. You might say, yes, there are some things about Oblivion that are better than Morrowind, and if Oblivion had come out first, we might look more fondly on Oblivion than we do on Morrowind. I don't know. Maybe it's not fair. Again, I'm not trying to say that Oblivion's a better game than Morrowind. I don't think that it is. Personally, I think Morrowind is the better game. But I just don't think that it's so clearly one is better than the other. I think there are plenty of things that, if you look at it honestly and you were to say, all things being equal, which I guess that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to say there's a thought experiment where you could say, all things being equal, this is what I think is better about this game versus this game. And I think that when you talk about Morrowind as the first game, people are just kind of going to give it an unfair advantage because it is the first game. Let's back up a little bit so we don't put the horses in the water here. So that's one other thought that I had about the Elder Scrolls games in general, about Skyrim and Oblivion and Morrowind. So make of that what you will. I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm too strongly opinionated on this. I obviously have my feelings, but I recognize that I'm not some kind of infallible person here. I'm a fan, and a fan has biases, so I'm willing to admit that I might have my own biases here. Little fox. So one final, maybe not final, but one other thought that I want to voice about the Elder Scrolls before I kind of draw this on the Elder Scrolls topic to a close. And that is, again, about Morrowind and how it is, I think, it is the best Elder Scrolls game. And I think a lot of fans, I'm not going to say come down on, but are maybe a little bit harsh on Bethesda for never having equaled Morrowind. Every game that's come out since then, Oblivion, Skyrim, it's always like, well, it's no Morrowind. As if that's a fair critique. It's not, it's really not. But even so, I can understand why the fans would say that. Now, my response to that is, this is going to take a minute to kind of set up here, but one of my favorite writers is, Imperials, I'm glad to see you. One of my favorite writers is Joseph Heller, who wrote the book Catch-22. And if you've never read Catch-22, if you like comedy and you like novels, it's one of the, maybe even but one of the certainly best comedy novels ever written. Incredibly well done comedy novel. I want to say that same Dunmer was dead on the bridge when we walked by here like a week ago. Weird. Very good comedy novel. So if you like comedy and you like novels, read it. If you haven't already. Fantastic book. Joseph Heller is a very good author. Anyway, I believe the man is still alive, so I don't want to make it sound like he's dead. But in the latter stages of his career, he was being interviewed by some literature critic. And the interviewer put the question to him, or put the thought to him, basically, and said, Joseph, you peaked with Catch-22. You've never written another book since then, like Catch-22. What do you have to say about that? And he said, you're right, I haven't ever since then written a book like Catch-22. But neither has anyone else. And I think, if you think about that for just a minute, you'll realize what point I'm trying to make here. I think this is where we want to go, to get the lost knife. which is, yes, Bethesda has not... Oh god, that doesn't look good. Bethesda has not, since Morrowind, made another Morrowind. But neither has anyone else. You know, Morrowind is a difficult thing to make. It's hard to make a game that is so loved and so critically acclaimed and so popular and gets so many things right. Asking somebody to do it twice in their career, whether it's one person writing a book or whether it's a company making a game or a movie or anything else, that's a tall order. That's asking a lot. You could say, well, somebody like Quentin Tarantino has made 2 or 3 movies that have equaled the quality of the very first great movie that he made, or the Beatles released albums that were of the same quality as the first great album that they made, or Scorsese or Spielberg. You could name a number of artists in any what's the word? I was going to say field, but that's not quite. There aren't fields of art. There are media, I guess, media of art. So, yeah, you're right. There are individuals who reach that pinnacle and then match it later on in the career. But that, I think, is a very, very rare thing and incredibly hard to do. And I think the fact that there are a handful of people that we can point to that do it doesn't make it easier to do. I think the fact that there are some freaks who accomplish it multiple times in their career just means that there are freaks, and I mean that in a good way, freaks in the good sense. I'm not trying to say that there isn't a game company out there who couldn't equal or best their best game, which was incredible. I'm just saying, expecting Bethesda to do it twice in the same series in a span of 3 games, that's asking a lot. So I think that Joseph Heller quote is kind of apt. And I think about that a lot when I think of people being dismissive of the later efforts of an artist or a company who, I don't know. Morrowind was an awesome game. Bethesda has never made another Morrowind. But then again, neither has anybody else. As far as I'm concerned, maybe you guys could disagree. You could perhaps point me to a game that you think is just as good as Morrowind that's come out since then, that Bethesda could have possibly achieved. Something similar, an open world fantasy RPG game that has the depth of story and the lore and the history and the jaw-dropping awesomeness of Morrowind. But I can't think of one. So tell me if you think I'm wrong. I would love to hear it. Love to hear your opinions on it. And unless I can think of something else, some other commentary on the Elder Scrolls, I'm going to say that that's probably the conclusion of my little On the Elder Scrolls series of episodes here. So, so any comments you have from this point on will be comments, you'll be addressing things that I probably haven't thought of. So, feel free to bring it up. I'd love to hear it. And if I get the comment before the LP concludes, I would be happy to mention it and maybe respond to it in an episode. So lay it on me. Right, so the reason that we're here with that long, wordy digression is we're here to find Queen Freydis's broadsword, and we were told by, I cannot remember his name, but the blacksmith in Windhelm, that it was here in Lost Knife Hideout, way back in episode 40-something of Act 1. And at the time we turned him down because we said, no, we're not going to go get the Queen's sword. And the reason that we said that was specifically because the blacksmith told us that he was in the process of making a fake Queen Freydis's sword because Ulfric wanted it to help him wield some political power in the Civil War effort. So we thought to ourselves, Anag did, if Ulfric needs is going to actually craft a fake sword to try to get people's loyalty, then he's not a very good leader and we shouldn't be helping him at the time. Now we know the truth about Ulfric and how he's involved in the reason that we're in Skyrim in the first place, and Anag is now kind of like, well, screw that dude. I'm going to go get Queen Freydis' sword, and I'm going to give it to his enemy. I'm going to give it to Jarl Elisif. So that's why we find ourselves here. So, sorry that I did all that talking, but I think we are finally ready to move in. I don't know what to expect here. This could be bandits, this could be vampires, who knows what this is. But here we go. I'm guessing bandits. I don't know. Yeah, this is the conclusion of a quest that was kind of sort of started way back in Act 1. Let's sneak a little bit. I heard something. I hope it's bright enough in here. It seems bright enough to me, so I'm going to say it's probably bright enough for you guys. What the? Okay, this guy's firing arrows at something unseen. A werewolf! We're going to watch this for a second. There's a freaking werewolf, you guys. What? Erender's already fighting? What the hell? Okay, we'll have to kill the werewolf almost certainly. Wow, what the hell? Okay, so the bandits killed the werewolf, but seriously, what the hell? A werewolf? What is he doing in here? This is Ike's first encounter with a live werewolf. It's a good thing we didn't have to fight it. Whew! The hell? Lost knife, cage key. Good to have. I'm going to take that. I see somebody walking around up there, but we're going to...
I don't like the looks of this place. Not at all.
Me neither, mate. Does not look good, I can tell you that. I'm going to take their food, because they're bandits. They're not monsters. Elven longsword. No, I'll leave it. Whew! Man, it's wild. Freaking werewolf in here. I would like to know why. Weird. There he is. I wonder if I can hit him from here. There's another one up there. Be very quiet here. Try to be anyway. Wow, this place is huge. There's 3 of them that I can see. Ow. Ow. Jesus, I just took a steel crossbow bolt or something. Ooh. That messed me up really fast. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, we already checked him, so we're not going to bother. Missed. Something just fell down off the tower over there. Ow! The hell was that? Yeah, not when you're dealing with a knife, or rather, when you are dealing with a knife. Anybody up there? Oh, somebody up there. Oh, he's right over here. Wait, there's another one? I heard somebody else shout. Rouges are going that way, not sure why. They're gonna expire here in a second. Whoa, Rouge! Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's quick save. Uh-oh, I see him now. Oh, come on. Okay. Not sure what's that way, but we'll come back. We have to kind of orientate ourselves in here. This is such a huge place. What does Erender see? See something. Okay. Well, we'll probably be going that way first, because I don't see a way to... Whoa! The hell was that? Uh-oh. Erender was using a ward. Nicely done. I can't hit shit.
You won't live to see tomorrow.
Whew. Okay. This is a little wild. What do we got down here? Where did this lady go? I hear more of them. This one is... I already checked him. Somewhere there's a person I just killed. Here we go. Okay, another quick save. Now, again. Oh, god damn it. Where are you? Probably up there, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I want to check this area out first. Did I check you? No. Did I check you? No. And what is up here? Skill book that we already know. Not much else. And a diving board. Okay. Let's go this way. We know there's somebody over here because we could hear him shouting at us. This is a really impressive room. Don't know if you guys could see that up there. It might just be black to you, but